is Asa, nice to meet you, and welcome back to my channel if you already know me. When I start my video, I feel like I have to say something like, hey, hello, it's me, I'm going to do this and that, but right now I don't know what to say. You probably saw from the preview already that I'm going to paint in my sketchbook, and that's basically it. This is what I'm going to do in this video. I got watercolor sketchbook, and this is my new love and my new obsession because I've never had watercolor sketchbooks before. I thought they are a little bit weird, I don't know why, but I never bought them, and this is my first one and I'm so impressed. Having good quality paper in your sketchbook is like a game changer. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys will have fun watching my video. You can put me on the background because I'm going to chat and show you a speed painting of my illustration. And don't forget to grab your own art supplies and paint with me.
As always, I do some sketches before I start painting. I'm not sure what color scheme I want to use, that's why I'm going to try different colors and see what I like the most. I did small sketches already, so I can start coloring. I already know the color of the skin I'm going to use. It will be amber with orange and yellow undertones. And I want to do contrast background colors. That's why I chose 4 dark colors for the background and for the hair color. I definitely want her face to stand out. That's why I will use her hair to frame it. The only exception is the purple color scheme. On this one, I'm going to use all pastel colors and see if it works for me. The paper I'm using is not made for water mediums, that's why my color lack vibrancy. I'm going to let my paint dry and apply the second layer of the paint. After I'm done with the background, skin and hair, it's time to paint plants and the moon. I don't want to use crazy colors. I will play with different shades of green and yellow. It is very important for me to separate the plants from the background, so I use warm green on the cold background or light green on the dark background. I really like the sketches I made. Sketch number 4 is my favorite for now, and I think it was heavily inspired by Henri Matisse's paintings. After I organized my workspace, I can start painting. I put my sketches on the left so I can look at them anytime I want. I start with the skin color, and as always I flood the paper with one color and let it dry so I can put shadows and other elements later. Then I do the same with her hair, very carefully trying to not touch the skin color to prevent mixing them. I chose a beautiful orangey red color and I want to use it for shadows, but I'm not sure if this color is good enough for shadows, so I applied it to her lips first. It works great, so I can start using it for shadows. I constantly switch between skin and hair because for me those two elements are the toughest part of the painting. I prefer to paint the most complicated element first and move on to the easy ones. To give her skin even more definition, I decided to outline her face with the dark red color. And I did the same thing with her hands. I got the idea for this painting from my own photo. I love big tall grasses so much, and I love taking pictures of them and with them. This photo was very unpredictable. We were coming back from the restaurant, I saw these beautiful grasses and I just couldn't resist them. By the way, it's not a self-portrait. Blue hair was so fun to paint, so I decided to give my girl blue eyebrows and blue eyelashes. It's time to paint plants. The hardest part of this step is to paint the plants between her fingers, but it's not a problem if you have some time and a little bit of patience. I put dark green base for my plants, and later I'm going to layer lighter shades of green to create some volume and make those grasses look nice and fluffy. While the green base is drying, I switched to small brush and started working on details. I tried to make my illustration magical and mysterious, and those grasses reminded me of the goddess Demeter. She is the Olympian goddess of harvest, and she's often depicted holding flowers or rye, and some sources say that moon and stars are also one of her symbols. So maybe this illustration is my own goddess of harvest. As you can see, I started painting background and I chose orange-red color. I usually don't use bright red in my illustrations as main color, but this time I decided to try something new and I love it. There is something about red and green. Together they create beautiful contrast. At this point I'm trying to achieve bright and solid colors, so I just layer my paint on the background, hair and the grasses until it becomes thick enough so I can move on to details. Once it is done, I take the smallest brush I have and start working on the plants, hair and the moon. I couldn't choose between very bright yellow and pastel yellow, so I decided to use both. I will use bright yellow for shadows and light yellow as the main color. Even though I started painting yellow elements, I didn't paint the moon yet because it is very hard, so I want to make sure the rest of my painting is done and the shade of yellow I chose works for me. I also want to add some stars later, so I have to be sure I chose the perfect yellow. Plants were my favorite part of this painting. It is easy and fun to paint, and it is almost impossible to make a mistake. I wanted to create some contrast where plants touch the background, so I decided to take a little bit more of dark red and create shadows underneath those grasses. I'm going to let the paint dry and I will go back to painting her hair. I want her hair to have more volume, so I decided to add more waves with dark blue color. I think my painting is almost done. The final step is, of course, details. I go back to the smallest brush I have and I want to add some tiny spikelets to my plants. I add them on the sides of my grass bouquets to make them look even fluffier. I also add small shadows between them. It adds a little bit of realism. Then I paint a few thin grasses on top of her hands. This step is very dangerous because it will be very hard to fix in case of mistakes. Overlapping elements in illustrations are hard to paint, but they add a lot of depth to your painting. I'm adding final lines to her face and hair, painting additional locks of hair. I like how it links her hair and plants, creating one painting style. After her hair is done, I add stars and my painting is completed.
We did it, my friends. This is the final result. I really like it. It makes me happy that the first page of my sketchbook looks very nice. So yeah, I'm very proud. Man, colors are amazing. I don't know, is it okay to give compliments to yourself? Probably yes. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching my video. I enjoyed chatting with you and painting, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, and I think I will see you next week. Bye!